Tim. How are you?
I'm good, Wendy. How are you?
Just dancing away here, aren't we?
Well, it's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month. We're all about pride and wearing pride colors. And I'm loving, let me see your shirt, Tim. I like that shirt.
Oh, actually, it's San Juan. Well, it's got like little fringes on the bottom.
Wait, are you showing us your belly too? Is it?
Yes, it's Pride.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I'm Wendy Stuart.
And I'm Tym Moss.
And we are happy to be with you on this Wednesday before Pride.
Yes. It's I've again got so many events going on. I can't even keep track of them all.
Absolutely same. And I've got Google Calendar. I've got a handwritten wall calendar.
Yes.
And then I've got another thing that beeps to remind me. And even with all of that, I don't think it's helping. It's making it worse, Tim, because it's like layers and layers and layers of things. But Sunday, the main event, which Tim, of course, will be at too. I will be with the Imperial Court. We'll be in the beginning of the march, and I'm going to be on a float waving like that. That's my float wave, right? That's like Miss America pageant wave. I am so excited about that. This is just such a great month. It really is.
Yes. And I'm going to be marching also at the front of
beginning.
With Bronxboro President Vanessa Gibson, an old friend of mine, love her. And only we don't have a float. We're going to be walking. We're going to be hoofing it all the way. And that's a long parade route.
It is a long parade route because it's also going to be, did you check the weather report? I always check the weather report.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice.
It's nice, but it's nice in the 80s in the hot sun. So it's more like 90 degrees as you
Right. With the humidity. With the humidity. But then I have to circle back around because I'm going to pop in for a quick party, and then I have to go over to the grandstand because I'm going to be an announcer. I'm going to be announcing all of the different floats and everything from the grandstand at the New York City Pride Parade at 25th and 5th Avenue. And my time slot is 4 to 6 p.m.
And I am going to miss all of that because after I get done floating, I'm going to a party. And then we've all got tickets to the Dream Hotel where there are wall-to-wall people every year. Yeah, it'll be great fun. And then by the time Sunday night rolls around, I got to tell you, I'm going to collapse in my costume.
Same here.
And take a breath. Oh, I want to share with everybody. We just did Icavelli's new show, Hated Rivalry with Jezebel and Icavelli, and Tim, of course, sang in the show. It was so much fun.
That was a very fun show. Yeah,
it was really fun at the Copa. I love that space for these shows.
Yeah, you know? And also, Jezebel's husband Chester performed a couple times, and we did a duet. We did the Judy and Barbara.
I loved it.
Happy Days and
the Happy Days duet. Yeah, you guys did a great job.
And I had the best time singing with him. Oh my God.
Right. I was calling him the best kept secret because many of you know Jezebel. She's been on my other show, TriVersity Talk. Now she's got like 6 or 7 books out. She's a known comedian, known drag artist, just a multi-talented person, but none of us knew about Chester. And I nicknamed her husband the best kept secret because she just pulled him out of the rafters.
Well, I've known Chester for years, but I had no idea he had that singing voice.
Right, but that was not just a regular singing voice. We're talking like blow you out of the water.
Absolutely.
Do that. Nobody.
And that's why I love just singing in the rafters with him.
I mean, it's so great. So
Thursday before that, last Thursday, I performed in the Bronx LGBT Expo.
How was that?
That was great. This was, I think, like the 8th year. And my good friend, Jose Ramon, is the one who had started it, and he had passed away from ALS. And so Connie Pacheco had picked it up and has kept it going year after year after year after year, which I'm grateful for. So I always make a point of performing in that. So I did a couple numbers that went over very well. So.
And we're going to be doing Bronx Pride in July. There's another one, Apollonia's.
Coco Montrese from RuPaul's Drag Race was the was the host. And I just fell in love with her. And she has been doing drag in New York City for 35 years. And she and I have never performed together. We had never done a show together. It was so weird. But we fell in love with each other. I love her.
Well, speaking of people who've been doing drag for a really long time, I went to go see Ruby Rims.
Oh, God, I love Ruby.
Judson Church, and I brought Rollerina with me. And
yeah, they're all friends.
To see Ruby acknowledge Rollerina, first of all, and then I took a bunch of pictures of the two of them together. I mean, these are people that you have to pay homage to. They have been personalities for decades. The show was totally fabulous. And Lady Bunny showed up. She sat next to me. You won't be seeing any pictures of Bunny because she was not in drag. And the one thing
didn't have the hair.
We had nothing, not an ounce of makeup. And I got to tell you, I never knew Lady Bunny was so handsome. Lady Bunny is a tall, handsome, well-built guy. I was like, who knew? Because you're right, Tim. It's like the big hair and the bumps.
Yeah, that's the signature look.
Yeah, she's, you know what, very easy on the eyes out of drag. Who knew that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited about our guest today is coming to us all the way from Texas. We love those
the Fort Worth,
Texas gals. This actress has deep connection to storytelling, and she's a multifaceted performer, which works in films, commercials, voiceovers. As a matter of fact, on video games, you've probably heard her voice. Mm-hmm. She can do anime characters, which I totally love. I don't know anybody that does that. Her passion for acting is rooted in the belief that stories have power to connect, heal, and inspire. Please welcome the one and only Erica Muse.
Yes, yay.
Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I've been thinking about your name. I don't know if Muse is your real, it's a perfect last name. What a beautiful last name. For an actress.
So it actually came from my very first photographer when I was pretty young. I was like 14. I had done like this workshop, I won a photo shoot, and he had nicknamed me Muse as like his inspiration, because I would get on the set and I would just do kind of wild ideas. Like he would throw one pose idea at me and it would turn into 30 new projects. And so he gave me this nickname, and then I started playing video games. I made it my screen name. And then I guessed it at a convention. And it was just kind of set in stone after that. I put it on my Letterman jacket in high school, and it had been my name for a long time. So when I started doing acting professionally, I was like, I checked my name, my legal name on IMDb, and there was like 19 of them. And I was like, you know what? I'll just use the name I've been going by forever, Erica Muse. Why not?
Muse, perfect.
So I just adopted it as my last name.
It's really a great name.
So you mentioned you lettered in high school. What did you letter in?
Oh gosh, in theater, choir, and ROTC.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And you started performing when you were a kid.
Yeah. I went to private school, and there was just choir and cheerleading for extracurriculars. So I did both just because I wanted to do other things. And so I did cheer for a lot of my younger grade school life.
Cool.
And then I went into theater when I went to public school, because my private school didn't have theater. So we did do musicals for Christmas, though. So I did do the Christmas musicals, but my first foray into like stage would have been in high school.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So you do come out of a theatrical background, because you started loving this fairly young.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked entertaining. I grew up really obsessed with music. I started writing my own songs when I was like 5 or 6. I would sing them to my mom, and then she'd be like, oh, that's actually kind of catchy. I've actually never really put any of that stuff out there. Here recently, I got inspired by Ronnie Corbin. I might actually finish one of my songs this year.
There you go.
So
I think it's time.
We'll see. Because I have a couple that are pretty fun. So I might do that this year, but we'll see.
Well, you have so many cool things that you do, and your background as a little kid. And the fact that you do anime makes me think that, like, you've always been a kid with an imagination and fantasy. How did that happen for you?
Well, I was obsessed with like cartoons and video games and stuff. It was really the only time me and my brother got along was when we were either watching a show together or playing a video game together. So for me, that became like a great outlet for us to connect through because it felt like we didn't have a lot in common outside of those. So I got really obsessed with those. And then my dad actually made his own Halloween costumes growing up. He was obsessed with Halloween. My parents got married on Halloween. My brother was born on Halloween. It was a huge thing every year. And so he taught me to sew when I was 12. I started making my own costumes. And then when my brother started going to anime conventions and got to dress up outside of once a year, I was like, hold on, I want to dress up outside of once a year. And that's the original reason I went. And then I got sucked into anime and I was like, oh, I love this. So I had seen Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and like the main.
Yeah, my daughter loved Sailor Moon. My God, they had a whole Sailor Moon. I still have the plastic Sailor Moon doll that was also a clock. I can see it right now. I saved it. It'll be worth something. So all of that, wow.
Yeah, because I watched all the mainstream stuff, and then the going to the convention and dressing up in costume for the first time really got me into more of those like other niche shows. Yeah, introduced me to Fruits Basket, still my favorite anime, which I'm so thankful that I got to be a part of, because I thought when I got into Funimation that the opportunity to be a part of that had passed because they had finished season 3, and then lo and behold, the first call I ever got from Caitlin Glass was, hey, can you come in and record for the prequel for Fruits Basket, Fruits Basket Prelude? And I was like, oh my God, yes. And I got to work with Caitlin Glass, who's like a legend. So, it was really
how did you get your first break? You know, anime and this kind of thing is something, Tim and I know a lot of things, but we don't know anyone that's done this. And it really, really interests me. Who like gave you your first break?
Well, I wanted to act in cartoon. My parents were like, that's celebrities. And I was like, then I'll be a celebrity. That clearly did not pan out. But I worked on a bunch of music videos throughout high school and into college. One of the bands that I was working with that I would do their merch and stuff, and I did their music video every year, was Ryman and Steelin. They're a Beastie Boys cover band. Their lead singer is the voice of Majin Buu from Dragon Ball. And I was guesting as a cosplayer at a convention across from him. And I said, Josh, you're the voice of Majin Buu. He said, I've told you that for years. And I said, I thought you were joking. And we were friends at this point. So we gave each other a hard time, you know, and I said, if you can do that, I can do that. I was kidding. But he laughed and he said, I'll cover you to take my best friend's class. So I did. And I said, okay, Chris, I loved your class. What do I need to do? And he said, you've been away from acting a little bit. Go take an improv class, brush up on it, and get a demo reel put together. And I did. I made a demo reel. I sent it into Funimation, and I updated it every 3 months and resubmitted it for 3.5 years.
Wow.
And then I got
Talk about tenacity. That's
and determination.
Yeah, knocking on a door again and again. Wow.
I will say that I probably would have gotten in a little bit sooner just because COVID happened in the middle of that.
Right.
So the studio did close down for 1.5 years. So I don't know how that really lines up, but September of 2021, I finally got in.
And they called you up, and what did they say to you?
They had called me in. Well, the first time they called me in for Walla for One Piece was pretty funny. I was very excited. This was July of 2021. And when I showed up, they said, you're a girl. And I said, they had misread my name as Erica Muse. And they needed a bunch of dudes for Walla. So they were like, we'll keep you in mind for the future. And then I got to go back in September of that year for she professed herself pupil of the wise man, because I had talked to Tia Ballard at a convention about a manga I had just read called She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man. And she called me in to voice one of the summons. So she summons Letitia, Diva Letitia, who like floats on a diamond into the battlefield and sings to distract enemies and then screams them to death. So really fun, kind of a siren. So I got to voice that. And that was one of my first sessions with Funimation. I think I'm trying to remember, that was my first character. My very first session with them, I think, was Walla for, let me think. It was Walla for, I believe it was Attack on Titan. Yeah. And Danny's
Attack on Titan. I love this. Erica, how do you prepare for these characters? Like, you know, when we were preparing for a film, we put a character together, but voiceover is a whole different thing. And these are total fantasy characters. So what is your process, right? I want to know your process for this.
So basically, you want to make sure that you drink at least 3 bottles of water the day before.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some vodka before.
No, you want to be really hydrated.
That's
really going to help your ability to access those different parts of your voice and to really flex those different muscles. So it's really important that you're hydrated. You'll have less cracking, less popping and clicks, and less vocal fry as well. So that if you're, you know, if you have a person where you're voicing them in an army, you know, and they're battling for 3 hours, you have to be able to survive that.
That's
right?
Hard, right?
In a video game and you have 600 lines that you get through in 2 hours, like you have to survive that, especially if your character yells a lot. So, and video games are exhausting. But yeah, so I say 3 bottles of water the day before, because if you just kind of try to cram and get a bunch of water in right before the session, you're actually going to be more clicky than if you hadn't done that.
Clicky. There's actually a click, and what it causes that. I'm really learning something here.
No, you're good. It's
dryness in your throat.
Well, it's the saliva trying to appease the dryness in your throat. And that saliva, if it's not lubricated enough with the water from your own like body being hydrated, then it'll be really bubbly. And when those bubbles get caught between your lips and your teeth, they pop and you get little click sounds.
Wow.
It's the evil saliva. I knew it.
Yeah. You just want to be really hydrated.
Wow.
And then other than that, if you're newer, you're probably going to get called in for Walla, which is additional voices. So you're not going to know exactly which voices you're doing before you get there. So it's good to warm up and practice all of them in the car. So I will literally start as like a little boy. I used to start as a little girl. I have trouble with that octave now as I've gotten much older. So I start as a little boy, and then I go to my teen girl, and then I go to my adult woman, and then I go to my elderly woman, and then I go into the studio after I feel like I've warmed up all of those voices, because I don't know which one they're going to use.
Right.
Okay. Warm up for us.
Yep.
Let's start with the little boy. Do a little of the little boy, and then the teen girl.
Taste of it, right?
Okay, give us the little boy.
No way! You think you'd do my homework too?
Oh.
Aww.
And then the teen girl.
I don't know. Do you think Reamer is going to talk to me today? That'd be really cool. I wasn't listening at all.
I love this.
Oh, God. Is that when I was supposed to call? Oh, no. All right, let me call him now. Hey, how's it going? Boys, did you do your homework? I knew this was going to be a problem.
Well, if you don't help me with the groceries, I don't know who's going to help me with the groceries. I'm never going to get the groceries into my house. It's my hip. It's always been my hip.
This is so cool.
That is
like go between characters, Erica, where like grandma talking to the little boy and then the teen girl coming in. Do you ever have to do that?
So we will do that sometimes for fun. It is by no means necessary. And typically in a normal session, if they're on a tight schedule, you're not going to get to do that at all. Okay. If you want to do that, you can ask, just because between you, the director and the engineer, if they have extra time, it could be very fun and entertaining to shift back and forth. Right. But it is tricky. And sometimes, especially between little boy and granny, I can accidentally drift between the two and then it's kind of off-putting. But generally you record one character at a time. So you'll do all the cues as the one character, and then you'll do all the cues as the other character. Got it. There's several shows where I do voice multiple characters in the same scene. That happens all the time. Just very different voices or very different personalities. Like a shy girl and a tough girl, they don't sound the same at all. Right. So I do that a lot, but usually you record all of one character and then all of the other character. You're not going to go back and forth.
Right.
It's still an incredible. I'm very impressed with your skill at this. I don't know anyone that does this. Obviously, I listen to this stuff, but we never think of the person behind it. But you know what? A talent can actually earn a living doing this, and that's what's impressive.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I love voice acting. Plus, not to mention, most of the time, I can do it from home in my closet right there.
Yes,
so it's great.
I love that.
It's great. And I built that because I built that during COVID, because I was still trying to get in. And I've been very adamant with my friends that I didn't want to go into Funimation until I was hired to go into Funimation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they closed down during COVID, and I didn't know if they were going to ever reopen. So then I had two of my engineer friends that worked up there help me build a booth at home that looked like the Funimation booth.
Brilliant.
So I could feel like I got to go in. And
Absolutely.
now I utilize it for other work stuff now that we're back in studio.
Well, you can use it for auditions. It's great.
Yeah.
What you did was you manifested it.
Thank you.
And you built it and created. I love that.
Build it and they will come.
Exactly. And you took a situation like COVID, right? That was lemons, and you did turn it into lemonade. Why? What makes you like have this special power that you can do this? You know, because that's resiliency. We know a lot of people during the pandemic that they were immobilized by it. Many people were. What is it about you, Erica, that lets you push back against things?
Well, the thing is that you have two options, right? You can live your life or you cannot, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm going to bother to do the first one, I'm going to do it the way I want to. Time is the one thing you cannot buy. So why would I spend a moment of it not happy with whatever I'm doing?
Hey, that's great. I'm
not going to sit here complacent. Every day I'm going to ask, okay, I don't have anything on my to-do list today. So what should I be doing? So I'm always filling up my time. Now that's not always helpful or healthy, I guess. You should try to have some days where you recoup your spoons, per se. But I do, for the most part, just keep busy and make sure that I'm always doing something. And then if I do my best at all of those things that I'm doing, then other good things will come along.
We so believe that, and that's productive. What is your sign, Erica? I have to ask.
I believe I'm a Taurus, but I think with the new star sign that they added, I'm an Aries.
Okay. Wow. I'm a Capricorn, and I completely subscribe to your philosophy. The problem I have is people not getting that my time is valuable and accountable, and I have to try and be flexible, right? We all have to, Tim. But you know what? When people disrespect your time, I meet directors and stuff that are like, oh, great. Can you come to the rehearsal on Friday? They'll say, all right, I want to do a rehearsal on Monday. Like especially with talent, there's no regard a lot of the time. And Tim will back me up on this, that you might be doing something else. They often just assume that you're home, I don't know, waiting for the next call or
waiting for them to call
or whatever.
Well, who pays my bills?
Thank you. That's exactly right.
But I love how you immersed yourself in what you enjoyed, like the anime, and also I want to get into the cosplay, because didn't you start that? That was kind of part of that whole process, wasn't it? And you would create and make your own costumes and go to these conventions. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I started costuming when I was really young, like dressing up. I was obsessed with Halloween the same way my parents were. Sure. A lot of it, just like any kid, is just vying for like your parents' attention. You know, like if they think costumes are neat, then clearly you're going to be into costumes. Yeah, it kind of comes inherently with the territory. And my dad's a big kid, so obviously I wanted to be friends with the big kid. So yeah, I loved dressing up as all these different characters and becoming these different characters. I started making my own costumes. It was one of the first things I did that my brother thought was actually cool, because for the most part I was just the annoying little sister, you know. Yeah. And he's like, get out of my room. And then I made a cool costume, and he's like, well, can you make me a cool costume? You know? So suddenly I'm useful, and that was neat.
What was your costume? What was your really cool costume? Who were you?
Well, I made this like neon technicolored cat costume. Was my very first costume.
Oh, I love that.
To be fair, I probably shouldn't have worn out of the house, but I drive a hard bargain. I'm a good negotiator. My parents were like, you can't wear that. And I went and put on a swimsuit, and I said, well, now I'm going out like this. And they're like, just kidding, just put it on. Just put it on. And so I'm a little fiery at the end of the day, but I try to rein that in these days.
I love it.
Cool, but I know I was really hard-headed when I was little. So it was a Lisa Frank fabric, like leopard print.
Oh, I loved Lisa Frank with all those colors and unicorns. And
I was obsessed.
Colors.
So it was a rainbow cat. And then my brother wanted to be Doctor Strange. So I did. I made him a Doctor Strange. And it was a lot.
And that's with the cape, right? With the
Yeah, I put wire in his top of his collar so it would stand up on its own.
Wow, right.
Very creative.
Yeah.
So what is like one of your favorite creations that you ever did?
Oh gosh. Okay. So my favorite character to dress up as is Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I
For
love
obvious
it.
reasons. It's very convenient. I don't have to wear a wig, and I kind of
you're redhead. You're perfect Ariel.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So I love dressing up as Ariel. It feels natural to me. It's very fun, and I love putting on a mermaid fin and doing the whole 9 yards. But my favorite that I've ever made, I'm probably most proud of it's kind of a tie between Queen Maeve and Cinnamon Charlotte from One Piece. Because I will say that Cinnamon Charlotte from One Piece, she's a character that I voiced, and it was the first time cosplaying a character that I voiced, which was really fun. But also it's the same build quality, I think, as Maeve. Maeve is the last one that I did, like, when I was running my cosplayer page full time, and I competed as her and won Masters. And I was really, really excited about her because it looks like actual leather armor, but it's 100% made out of EVA foam.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you can really do costuming. I wish you were here in New York. I could use some of this stuff.
Same here.
Right?
It's fun.
Knocking at your door, Erica. Make a sis.
And you don't have to walk around going,
Funny you mention it. One of my most popular cosplays before I made Queen Maeve was Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I made a mascot costume for my husband to walk around with me.
So your husband does cosplay with you?
That's how we met.
Oh, I love that.
That is so incredible. So were you at one of those Comic-Con conventions or cosplay? I have a lot of friends who do those.
We technically met at 4 conventions before we hit it off. At the 4th one, I said, and I, at the time, I didn't remember the other 3 occasions. He filled me in later because he was a little like, I don't know if I should even tell you that this is how we met. But because I was wild, y'all. I was wild.
Yes.
I've been through a lot in my life, and I was on a YOLO journey. And I thought I was just going to party till I drop. I'm pan. I was going to a lot of parties. I was dating a lot of different people of any kind. And so I was wild. And we ran into each other for the 4th time, apparently. I was getting on an elevator to go to a room party, and I ran into him in the hallway, and I said, I know you. And he goes, we've met several times. And I said, you smell like Fireball. And he goes, non-alcoholics call that cinnamon. And
I love it. He nailed you.
And
I
took his Fireball out of his blazer. This was many years ago now, y'all. We've been together for almost 10 years. But I took his Fireball out of his blazer and handed him my sake, and I got on the elevator. And I said, oh, are you going to this room party too? And he goes, you literally just stole my alcohol. And I go, oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like it was completely mindless, you know? And I handed it to him, traded back, you know, and he goes, but if that's an invite, I'll go. But he was weirded out because I guess he had tried to hit on me before and it didn't work out, you know? And so we went to this room party. We talked till like 4:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's a dead giveaway that you're going to end up with someone.
Well, and then he walked me to my car, and I said, you know, I don't live far. And this was probably the 3rd or 4th time I had said this. And he said, okay, good, then you'll get home safe. And I'm like, you know, I don't live far. You know, and I was trying to draw hints. I'm apparently not very good at that. And he was just
like him. He's innocent. You know, this guy is not a player. This
and a good man.
Material.
You say this.
He brings brings his own alcohol to the party. And
I love him already.
All convention goers and creatives alike are somewhere on the spectrum.
Yeah, of course.
We all are.
People that do this, and they are
kind of weird. We all are. So he was like, can I kiss you kind of thing? And then I was like, yes. And so we kissed. And then I went to get out of the parking lot. The side that I tried to get out of was closed. So I had to turn around to go out the other side. So I saw him skipping to his car. It was like the cutest thing I'd ever seen. I called him the next day and I asked if he wanted to come over and watch Rick and Morty till Game of Thrones came on. He said he had never heard a better sentence. And he showed up. Not only did he show up, the bar was really low, y'all. It's very funny. He loves to say, it was really low. I got to just walk over it. Because I had terrible dating experience and just experience with people in general. I don't have the best of luck. I'm very trusted very easily. And then I'm just taken for granted of. And it is what it is. But when I do build friendships, they're neat people.
Yeah.
But he showed up 15 minutes early with a fruit tray because he remembered that my best friend was vegan. And
came with a fruit tray. Okay. I mean, come on.
He showed up early with a fruit tray. I remembered she was vegan, very thoughtful, remembered all our names. Like, just, there was all these things that we were just like, dude, we're just happy you showed up, you know? And so Corinne goes, he's not allowed to leave, right? And I go, obviously. And we hung out like every night for like 2 weeks. And then we started dating. We became exclusive. And he said, I got to make some calls. And at first I was a little like, you have to make calls. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You know, I guess he was seeing like 5 other people at the time because he had never been single before, really. He had been in a 5-year relationship and then a 5-year relationship. Then he was single for a year. And then he met me and he was kind of like, okay, I'm going to be exclusive again. So he had to make some calls. And at first I was like, that's weird that you're dating multiple people at once. I could never, because I could never keep the facts straight to do that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of calendars, you guys. A lot of calendars.
I would never even get their pets straight. Like there's just no way. And then I was like, well, apparently I need to make some calls too, because I hadn't really considered the fact that I had some like friends, if you know what I mean, that I needed to make clear boundaries with. So, but we were actually on the complete same page with that, and it all went really well, and we've been together ever since. So,
did you have like a cosplay wedding? What was your like? What did you wear? Who were you at your wedding?
Did you make your dress?
I was Elven. I went full Lord of the Rings with it, but we just got married. We got engaged 2022 or 2021, actually October of 2021. We got engaged on Halloween.
Of course.
At AllCon, which is a convention that I've gone to ever since 2010, when the owner basically became like a grandpa to me. He's actually how I started guesting as a cosplayer, to sort of circle back to that previous answer. I got in as a cosplay guest because I was making a costume to wear every day of every event that I went to. I wouldn't rewear any costume.
Wow.
And Todd, the owner of AllCon, I went in 2010 just for fun, happenstance. It was across the street from QuakeCon. And I was like, I'm going to go see what this con's about. And Todd said in 2017, he goes, you've gone to my con every year and you've worn a different costume every day of every con.
Love it.
Why aren't you guesting? And I said, what does that mean? I had never even been into the booth room. I had only been to like the game show panels and the concerts. So he told me how to have a booth, how to guest, and I kept doing it after that. So really, I can thank Todd for all of that. So I got engaged at his convention in 2021 for Halloween. And then we got married 2022 because I needed to get my wisdom teeth out, and we were saving up for our ceremony. It gets better.
Wait, hold on. You were saving the wisdom teeth for your ceremony?
No.
Okay. I was like,
we were saving up money to have a ceremony.
Got it.
And I needed to get my wisdom teeth out. It was $2,500 without his insurance, $500 with his insurance, and it was $60 to get married. So we were like, hey.
You got to measure what you're doing there.
Well, and I had already put the dress and everything together. I already had a lot of it planned. So we just went to the water gardens with our parents and just had a tiny thing in the middle of the Fort Worth water gardens, got married. And then we used the ceremony money that we saved up to have a big, awesome honeymoon in New Zealand.
Nice. Oh, you went to New Zealand for your honeymoon, which is so perfect.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Right, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. It's like, did you visit all those sites in New Zealand?
So I went to New Zealand because I had a foreign exchange sister in high school that's from New Zealand. She lives in Christchurch, and I absolutely love her. I hadn't seen Ash in years, and we're so close. And she had been here 3 times, and I'm like, oh, it's high time I go there. I was supposed to go there in 2020, and they closed the border. So we finally went 2023. And it was, oh my God, it was fantastic. I almost wanted to move there. Right. It's incredible. I could talk about it for hours, y'all, but I will rein it in. Basically, grass didn't evolve there, so no mammals evolved there. So all the mammals are imported. So if you go to the desert, there's Clydesdales in the deserts because people thought it would look pretty. And like, there's no predators out there at all. The most aggressive thing they have is a swan, right? Like that's it.
And so a lot of sheep. They have a lot of sheep there, Erica, right?
And a lot of cows. Their beef actually overtook their sheep in the last 10 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of beef farming. But the cool thing is all the cows are imported, right? So they're all different kinds of cows. So you have these things called like mouse cows that are like tiny cows with big round ears.
No, wait. How big is a mouse cow? How big is that?
They're just a little bit smaller than so a traditional cow is like up here, you know?
Yeah.
About here, I guess, traditional cow.
Right.
And the cow's like this tall. They're just shorter, but they're still really stout. They still produce milk and beef and all that jazz.
Cute little cows. I want to go. I want to see a mouse cow.
There's just so many different things. And then they have like the fluffy headed cows, you know, the coos. And so there's just so many different things. And then they have a bunch of birds that only exist in New Zealand and nowhere else in the world.
That I knew about.
Their flightless parrots are hilarious, too intelligent for their own good. And they love to steal jandals, which is your flip-flops, on the beach, and they'll make little piles of jandals.
It's so funny.
It's a lot of fun. And everybody there is so sweet. So Ashlyn warned me. She said, when you get here, don't get lost. You better get to my house. And I said, how am I going to get lost? You know, and she goes, the second you get off the plane, you're going to get invited to somebody's house for dinner, and then you're never going to make it here.
People are super hospitable there.
Incredibly, all of them, because their entire population is like 2 million, and 1.5 of those live in Auckland. So the second you leave Auckland, people are seeing you, and they're like, we never see anyone.
Yeah. Wow.
There was a 7-minute walk to a fjord from the highway that no one was at.
That's amazing. The fjords are supposed to
do that here. It's so beautiful.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing.
I love that this really all ties in with Lord of the Rings and everything that you're totally into. And because you're into acting, I do want to show your clip.
Yes, we've got the video.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, take it away.
We're going to take a look at the video of Erica Muse.
Yes.
Joe, is that you? Sorry, we're closed.
Oh no, I know.
Then, can I help you?
Sure. I wanted to meet you.
To meet me?
Yes. Good old Nance. I've heard some good things about you. Some great things.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Not yet, no. It's a shame, really.
Oh, what? Who are you?
That's not important, because this is all about you.
Man, you need to get the hell out.
But we're about to become so close, you and I.
Get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna call Joe! Get out here, Joe!
Joe's taking a really long nap right now. He might not wake up.
Stay away! Stay the fuck away!
Ooh, feisty. We're gonna have fun, aren't we?
Wow.
Oh my God.
He's scary. I'm sure he's a very nice person when you meet him in public.
And I apologize now for the peaking audio. It was one of our first horror films up there that year. And so the audio did peak a bit there, and we had trouble rescuing it. But that was Demetrius Murray, the fantastic actor.
He is really, he's scary and a very, very convincing actor. I like that particular clip because you've got so much stuff. But
nice range in there.
The fact that it's scary, where you go in your emotional depth, right? Like so in terms of how you grew up and everything, I know we talked, you were bullied by other kids. How did you get through all of that? And then you've had things happen in your life. You're a very inspirational person.
Let's start with the bullying.
Yep.
When you were younger.
Okay, so basically I went to a private Christian school.
It was a Christian school. I love it. A Christian school, but people were bullies. Ugh.
Yeah, well, so it was kind of antagonized by a particular teacher, actually, unfortunately.
Wow.
And I'll dox her. It is what it is, Miss Petrie. But she followed me. She ended up being my teacher 4 times while I went to that school.
Oh my God. And did you have the same problem the whole time?
Yeah. So she thought, because in kindergarten when she had me, my parents didn't know originally why I switched hands. They didn't find out till I went to public school, and they asked me finally. They were like, oh yeah, you used to be left-handed. Why did you switch? And I didn't realize they didn't know. When I was in kindergarten and they put me in school there, she decided because of my red hair and because I was left-handed, I was the spawn of Satan.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is like such crazy stuff. How awful.
So what did she do?
So she would call me that to me. And then she would just say, I knew you were evil every time anything happened in class, if it happened near me. And then she would hit me with a ruler. She would like a flick, like with the ruler, and leave little stripes on my back anytime I used my left hand. So I wasn't allowed to use my left hand.
Oh
so
my God.
And basically they just they abused me until I started using my right hand and stopped talking.
You stopped talking. Now, did your parents notice that anything like this was going on? Did you ever talk to them to bring them into school?
I was only like that at school. And my parent, so it's really unfortunate. My dad, he was a locksmith, right? And so he worked different hours than my mom. And like I said, he was a big kid. He's always been really immature, not really in touch with much, if you know what I mean. So he would just get home, yell at the computer. I hated that we had a computer because most of the time it just amounted to him yelling and kicking it. And I was like, can we just get rid of the device that makes dad angry? Because that's how I felt about the computer when I was little. I didn't know what it actually did.
Right.
And then my mom worked multiple jobs to kind of make ends meet. And so she never really had time. So if she got a call from school, she would just be furious. And so she'd just come home screaming at us. And there wasn't really a discussion of like, why did this happen? There was no sitting down and communicating. There was none of that. There was just, don't do it again.
So you felt stuck.
Yeah, a bit. And so I would go to school and I'd be quiet. But then if somebody talked near me, they'd point at me and then I'd get in trouble for it. It didn't matter if I was talking or not. So I was so afraid at one point that like I literally just would not talk at school. But I'd still end up writing sentences for talking in class. But my mom, when I told her I didn't do it, wouldn't believe me because she's like, you're notorious for lying.
Right.
You know?
Everyone was pinning all these labels on you, Erica, that had nothing to do with you. Wow.
It is what it is. It's fine. I was also really hyperactive ADD. So I would fidget and stuff. And I probably did something some kind of nervous tick, probably annoyed people. So they would
you were fidgeting, right?
It is what it is. And so, I mean, we learned eventually when I went to a charter school that like having a Rubik's Cube to solve while the teacher was explaining things actually helped me. But there were teachers that weren't okay with that because that was a distraction, even though I could still write down word for word everything they said.
Right.
But with ADHD, you're absolutely, my daughter has it. She's brilliant. She's successful. She's still, when she's in anxious situations, she's got another thing that she fidgets with. Those things are helpful to kids.
Yeah. So I get incredibly uncomfortable in schools, but anyways, So I just had a teacher that hated me and my parents didn't know until they pulled me out of that school. I
assumed that the bullying were the other students. So it was an actual teacher.
A mix, yeah. The students kind of would
they probably picked up on her lead.
Sure.
Yeah, I do think it was mostly the teacher that caused a lot of it.
Right.
Because it was easy to pick on me when the teacher was on board with everything they said all the time.
Right.
And usually just like looking for a reason. So I had a couple years that were good in grade school. And I think it's because I didn't have that teacher those 2 years. The rest of the years I had that same teacher.
Wow.
And you're also finding an escape with costuming, with your dad, your love of cartoons and all of that. You can see how that was your safe space. That was a safe space for Erica to go to.
Yeah, I mean, I would go home and I would walk down the street and I would just try to find other kids to hang out with. Again, maybe not the safest thing in the world. There was one time that I ran off and I was playing with some kids in a back alley. And they offered for me to join their gang. And I thought that would be really cool. And they said, if I burned a piece of my hair, I could join. I had hairspray in my hair. So little did I know that when I went to light a piece, I lit my hair on fire.
Oh my God.
And I ran home and my mom was so upset and it stunk for like a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought it was hilarious. And she's like, there's something wrong with you. And maybe there was.
Well, you seem to have outgrown a lot of that. I read that you also experienced being abducted. You know, we hear these stories all the time. That's like very, very scary.
Yeah,
What exactly happened there?
So when that happened, this was out of college and everything. This was back 2014. So basically, no, 2015. My dad got in an accident in 2014. And then, so my dad got hit by a truck May 18th of 2014. And then he survived it. I took care of him on a machine for a year. And then my friend Emily.
Hold on, Erica. I don't want to gloss over that because I read that. And you know what? That's huge. You're a young person just starting your life. Okay. Yeah. And now you're a caregiver to the person who's your dad, who had a horrible thing happen to him. And you were also taking care of animals, his animals, I guess, at the time. That is really very impressive. What did you tell yourself to do?
Oh, God, I just wake up and tell myself to keep going and stay positive. I just do it nonstop. And occasionally you break. Like, I have one day a year. Nowadays, my life is so good that I don't even understand it. It comes to me inexplicably. But there'll be one day randomly throughout the year, I will just cry all day. I won't know why. Someone will tell me something funny. It'll start as a laugh, and then I'll be crying. And I will cry for a whole day. I will get it out of my system, and then I go back to every day, waking up and being like, I'm alive. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
No matter what the day before held, because the other option is to not live my life, which I would not go on living doing. Which, to be fair, I considered, but then I considered what I would miss out on. And I'm like, there's fun stuff to be had. And then I'm like, if I'm going to be here, by golly, I'm going to go do the fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, sister. Absolutely. So I want to get back to, like, you were at a party and a guy abducted you.
Yeah. So what happened was basically May 18th, 2015. So on the anniversary of my dad's accident.
Now, how was your father progressing at that time?
So my dad was in a home, an assisted living at that point.
Okay.
So he was off the machines. He was speaking. He wasn't calling me Dr. Pepper anymore. So he was doing better. Sorry, that's just to notify, like, his brain was back. He was everything was fine.
Right?
Wow.
He seemed like he could make his own decisions. I didn't have to go regularly anymore. He was doing okay, and I was like, okay, I can go back to, like, what do I really want to be doing right now? Because
go to a party.
Well, yeah, I was like, let me go to this birthday party. And it was a modeling event. So I had been doing bikini modeling with Sunbrew Bikini Team for a long time. And they go around and they do the bikini competitions for Harley Davidson. And I was Miss Maverick Harley Davidson 2015. So I had my first title under my name. And I had done a signing up at Maverick, and we had done a photo shoot and everything. I was really excited. And I was kind of riding that high. And I went to this event with the girls, but I wasn't even competing because I don't drink when I'm working. Right. But it was Emily's birthday. So I was like, yeah, girl, I'll do a couple shots with you. But I kid you not, I only had 2 shots, which is why this also doesn't really add up to me. But my friends didn't know how many shots I had because the 2 friends that I invited were in the competition. Because for her birthday, she was like, we're going to have a competition, but instead of it being the models, it's going to be our friends just for fun. So our friends were competing up on stage, not really watching us. And this guy had roofied the entire group of us. And basically separated me from the group and was feeding words to me to say and things. And my brain wasn't working anymore. He had given me a horse tranquilizer.
Oh my God.
Which they learned later from the bartender who had put it in the drink for him because they were friends. She got off by giving in that information. So she never got in trouble for it.
It was a she? You said the bartender was a she?
Yes.
Drugging other girls. Unbelievable.
For a guy that she liked.
Right.
Oh my God.
All kinds of complicated. But yeah, so she had assisted him in doing that. So basically got roofied. And then I just kept telling people I wanted to go home. And he kept telling people that he was my boyfriend. And they were like, we've never seen you with her before, but we don't really know her that well. And my friends they had left almost immediately after. Because they were just there for the contest and they had to go to work the next morning. They weren't, entertainers full time for the most part, like I had been doing. So they had left, and then they got home feeling weird, but immediately passed out. So they didn't wake up until the middle of the next day. And then they were calling me, telling me that they felt weird, and they were calling me while I was in the hospital giving a report. So we all slept through an entire day. But basically
drugged. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I woke up kind of incoherently early the next morning, next to a guy I had never seen in my life. And he rolled over and he said, "Hey, babe." And I was like, and it felt like a passage of time had happened that I was just completely unaware of. Like I had fallen asleep watching a competition and I had woken up next to a man I had never seen before and my room was in a new condition.
God.
Right, you lost all those hours.
I didn't know how to process it. Like I was just confused. So I turned to my phone. I was looking for like the time and the date. I called my mom. I left her a message of words that didn't make any sense. Like I just said words that weren't even related to each other. And then apparently went back to bed because I saw the call on my phone and I had a text from my mom saying, "Sweetie, that didn't make a lot of sense." And then 2 hours later, I woke up. I was next to the guy. I processed like, oh my God, this already happened. It was like a deja vu.
Like it was what? It was like a deja vu.
And then he was pretending to be my boyfriend. I checked the phone again and I was like, only a day has passed.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know you. So I decided to play along because I thought he might murder me. He was a very scary
guy.
He was a big buff.
Right. If he's capable of doing that, you don't know what he might be capable of.
He was a big, burly, like scraggly, tattooed motorcycle guy.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God. Okay. And I was like, "Hey, babe, I'm just going to get a shower." And I remember that all I was capable of doing was like, I got out of bed. My clothes were like neatly folded in a little cube in the corner of the room.
Oh my God.
And I got in the shower and I turned on the cold water and I just sat in the cold shower for like an hour.
Wow.
And then I got out, I put the towel on, I went downstairs and I put on a coat from my coat closet because I didn't want to go back upstairs for clothes. And it was then that my brain started to put together, like, you're wearing a towel? But my brain just was not with the program, but I was trying. You know, and we're halfway through that next day, you know, and I get into the kitchen, all the food in my fridge was gone. Half my case of water from Sam's Club is gone. I was so confused. Like I had no food. I had no water.
So he took you home.
So he convinced my photographer to take us to my place.
So he took you home and he ate you out of house and home in addition.
Yes. So he ate all the food in my fridge, drank all my water. And then I was like, okay, I don't have anything here. That's weird. Like I was still trying to piece stuff together in my head because he was so sincere. When I woke up next to him, I was like, why don't I remember anything? You know? And so I went back upstairs and I was like, I would never with this guy, you know? And I grabbed my keys and I said, hey, I got to go back up there and get my car if I'm going to go to work to pay our bills. And he's like, yeah, but why don't we just like watch something together first? And I'm like, okay, babe. Like I was just scared, you know?
Yeah.
And so we ended up watching a movie together. I like downstairs and I'm still just wearing a coat, mind you. I have not gotten dressed. I'm literally wearing just a long coat from my coat closet by the front door with wet hair. My brain's not functioning. I sit down, I go to watch a movie with him. I immediately donk out again because I was fighting to like stay coherent. And so I woke up again next to him naked in a coat and I'm like, what in the frick? Okay. And so I go, hey babe, we really should go get my car because I have to go to work tomorrow to pay for the apartment. And he was like, oh yeah, okay, babe. And this is the next night by this point.
Wow.
It's like 2 days that you were drugged.
And so he was like, oh, okay, all right. So we got an Uber up to the bar. As soon as we got to the bar, I was like, hey, can you get me a Sprite? My stomach feels kind of weird. And he was like, yeah, okay. And I said, I'll be right back. And I ran out the back door, got in my car, drove to the hospital. And I had them run a kit on me because it had been over 24 hours. They couldn't find the drug in my system, but they filed a police report. They tracked him down. He was a serial rapist. He was wanted in multiple counties. He had just gotten off for a case in Oklahoma. And because it was his other cases were other counties, they couldn't get him on double jeopardy. So he wasn't declared serial yet. It takes a long time, like years for them to declare someone serial across multiple counties. The systems don't communicate with each other. So,
okay, this is just unacceptable on so many levels.
Oh yeah.
So wrong.
I filed the report. They came to my house. They took my bedding, all of it. They took everything I was wearing that night. I lied about which boots I was wearing because I had $350 cowboy boots that were part of my uniform. And I just knew I wasn't going to get this stuff back.
Yeah, right.
Because these people that came in gave no shits. They were just like, what are we supposed to take? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, anything DNA could be on. So they took all of my bedding. They took all of my clothes I was wearing that day.
It's so harsh though, Erica. It's like they're treating you like it's your fault.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
the case investigator was nice, but then like the people that are supposed to gather evidence, not so much. And I had looked it up, and most rape kits, which is what they call it when they take everything from your home, most rape kits sit in evidence for 7 years, and they never get returned to the person that they were taken.
Oh my God.
They sit as evidence in 7 years. Like, we can't move that along. You do great justice by sharing the story.
I never got any of that stuff back. Never.
That is absolutely traumatic.
So they took
absolutely traumatic. One thing I mean, if there can be anything grateful or that you could be grateful about is the fact that he went to your place, because I could not imagine waking up next to somebody you don't know in an unfamiliar environment and not knowing where you're at.
So the reason, so they took everything from my place, right? And then you go back up there and you meet with them 2 days later, and they have you call him with people on the line with you to overhear the conversation, to try to trap him. This is the whole goal. So your case investigator is on the line with you and you call them, right? So I got his name from the bartender, who was nice enough to help after she realized that he actually was a monster. I guess she wasn't aware exactly what he was capable of. He may have said that he was just like joking with us or something. I'm really not sure what took place between them, but they said they got the information from the bartender. Wow. So she had given us phone number and everything. So we called, and they said, call him and play along and see what we can trap him into, and we'll whisper what to ask him. And I said, okay. And so they would mute me and they would tell me things to say and then unmute me.
Wow.
And so, and I'm not going to lie, I was on the verge of tears. So it took everything in me to like,
oh my God,
it's so traumatic. But I called them and they said, these are the things they told me to say. And this is how it went down. They were like, hey babe, how's it going? And he's like, hey. And I said, I just wanted to talk to you. And then they said, accuse him and see how he responds. And I said, okay. And I said, I just wanted to talk to you because I feel like last night, it was a few nights ago. They gave me the date, I believe. But so I feel like May 18th, some things happened that maybe I wasn't aware of, and I'm not okay with that. And he said, oh, babe, yeah, I get that. But you know how you are when you drink? And I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
It's a psycho. And I'm telling the investigator, like, I've never seen this person before, let alone been with them. And then I said, well, did anything happen? And he said, oh, of course. And he started saying all this stuff. They muted me. I'm dying, right? Because he's describing the things he did to me.
Oh my God.
And I'm there for the whole thing. And I'm just like, oh my God. So you realize that you did that with me unconscious, because they said, let's see how far this guy has gone.
Yeah. And
he's like, I think you were making sounds like you were into it. And he was all for it. And I said, we're not a couple. And then they said, break it all down. And I was like, okay, we're not a couple. What did you think was happening? And he's like, oh no, you had a few drinks and you were finally into me. Girl, I've been watching you for a long time.
Oh,
I went to your show. I took photos at your booth. I've been with your bicycle. I got your autograph when you did that signing at Maverick. And I have loved you ever since. And we've been together ever since. That's what he said. So this was a stalker who had seen me modeling, had never approached me, had never spoken to me. I had never seen him, but he was stalking me and waiting.
Right.
And then had started the story in his head that we were a couple.
Right.
But you got him to confess. That's what you did. You got a confession out of him.
But what's crazier is that wasn't enough.
Oh my God.
So all of that happened, right? They had a warrant out for him, but then he had to, so we called him, but he wasn't under arrest at that point, right? Like he was out and about. So we got him on a call. We got him cornered. We got the evidence. I should have never had to go to court or anything, but they put out a warrant for his arrest. And then he left the county. He went to another county down in Houston to go gamble, right? He got picked up. He got in trouble in Tarrant County for failure to turn himself in, but they didn't notate properly what he was supposed to turn himself in for, which was a rape case. So they didn't know what the severity of it was. He just got in trouble for failure to turn himself in. Then, like, failure to register as a sex offender from Oklahoma when he came down was what he got in trouble for. Then he comes down to Houston. He gets in trouble for gambling. They pick him up for gambling. He posts bail, says that he is a famous actor from The Rookie. He's a child actor. And Quentin, oh my God, what's his freaking name? The guy from The Rookie bailed him out in Houston. Y'all, it gets crazier.
So wait, was he really a child actor? He knew the guy from The Rookie?
Yeah, Corey Shane Harris. Yep. He sure was. Y'all, I'm so happy to tell this whole story. You don't even know. So Corey Shane Harris was in The Rookie with, wait for it, Dennis Quaid. Sorry, I knew there was a cue.
Okay.
I was having a moment there. It's crazy. Oh, there we go. Anyways, so I had to look it up. But Corey Shane Harris is his full name. And if you look him up, you'll see his mugshot. Scary looking ginger dude.
And who bailed him out?
He says that Dennis Quaid bailed him out for gambling in Houston because he's an old friend that he hangs out with regularly. So he claims,
I just can't believe
just like you're his girlfriend, please.
Right.
So yeah. So he claims like all over social media. He claimed that Dennis Quaid bailed him out for gambling and that he's a fun dude and he's close friends with Dennis Quaid. So this is from his social media posts. And I'm just like, I'm seeing this stuff and I'm just like, this is insane. Are you kidding me? This child actor is the one that's like attacking all of these women because I was one of 7 active cases.
1 of 7 and he was still walking around. I'm just saying, this is
just go to a different county and do it again.
Right.
So he posted bail because they didn't have all of his other cases together to stop him from doing it. So he posted bail, eventually got caught in Oklahoma, and a girl named Cheyenne Brazier called me and said, hey, I just wanted to talk to somebody else who had been through what I'd been through.
Oh
and
my
God. I was like, oh God. And it was rough. It was a really rough call.
Oh my God.
Her parents were lawyers and we were finally going to get him.
Oh, good.
And her parents did get him, but he posted on medical leave and died 2 days later of cancer.
Oh, good God.
So we all got nothing.
What an incredible story.
And
but
so
you know what, Erica, every time you tell this story, you're fighting back, okay? There are women that are listening to you all over that have had a similar situation. So your power is not in the fact that you didn't get him, he died of cancer. Your power going forward is your ability to share this with people.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it sucks because I don't know if he was doing it because he knew he was dying or if the cancer was karma. I'm really not sure.
Oh my God.
But he's gone.
Which came first, like the chicken or the egg, right?
Oh.
What an incredible story. Yet you've gone on. I want to talk about your voiceover business, your company. Firstly, I just wanted to say, Erica, thank you very much for your courage. And because that is so not easy to share, and your outlook on life about how you wake up in the morning and you can't but you can't wait to get the day started. That is so inspiring. That's so inspiring that you have been able to overcome trauma to the point to where you are so appreciative of today. That is a beautiful thing. And I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah, it's a gift that you're giving to people. Absolutely. And that's what you're meant to do. Wow. Which is really
I hope so. I hope it's a good thing to share and stuff. And honestly, I thank you for saying that I'm strong and everything. But at the end of the day, like I only have, one other option is to not go forward, and so I'm like, and not going forward. That's not an option for you, right?
Right. Yeah. But a lot of people, that would be their option, would be to fall and cave and cower. And you have chose not to. And I'm so proud of you for that. So proud of you.
You have moved ahead and you have your own studio on a station, and you created that on your own during the pandemic, you told us earlier. Mm-hmm. So people can come and do voiceovers. Do you offer workshops and stuff like that?
Yeah. I'll do one-on-ones with people. I also help them with their demo reels. Like I can help redo their current demo reel, or we can completely record a new one. But yeah, I help people with that. And I call them starter demos because I will say they're not like on the level of like, if you're ready for like your big booming AAA title demo reel, I will absolutely always refer people to Sound Cadence because they changed my life. Right. But For like a starter demo, absolutely, I help people out, and I do it for a fraction of the price. I only charge $250 for scripting, directing, mixing, the whole 9 yards.
Oh my God, this is great.
Because if I charged more than that, I would be like, no, just wait till you're ready and go to Sound Cadence. Save up your money, give them all your dimes, $1,000. It is worth it. But yeah, I will help people out because I've never liked gatekeeping, you know, and like I want people to have a fair shot, and I feel like I'm able to give them a demo that will get them in with most starter places that they can start getting work.
Good.
So
good.
I might as well.
Absolutely.
We've got some comments here today. Let's see. JHIG 2001. Hey guys, I actually caught you today. Do we know who this is, Tim?
I don't offhand. Oh, it's Danny. He says, okay, guys, it's Danny. I finally caught the show again today.
Okay,
I don't know if that's Danny from that we saw the other night, Margot's Danny or not.
Oh, Marco's Danny. Oh, we love Danny. Thank you, Danny. Tuning in from Rhode Island. Yes, they tune in from all over. CB Nantes. I'm actually crying right now. This is really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our dear friend Richard Skipper, who actually has a show coming up here in New York soon, says happy Wednesday and happy Pride.
Right.
And he also wrote, when we mentioned Ruby Rims, he said, Ruby Rims, Lady Bunny, Rollerina, who could ask for anything more?
I know, right? And Suze Vel Genero, hello, wow, what a story. Thanks for sharing. Oh, no, it's Danny Higgins from Fort Wayne. It's a different Danny Higgins.
Oh, okay. Danny, hi.
Danny Higgins from Fort Wayne. Here's the thing, Erica, you know, in the entertainment business, we are often told we need to gloss things over, right? You have to go in on that audition and you know this, modeling, acting, smile on your face, up energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You just did it. You know, people pleasing. Life is a bowl of cherries. And all of us here really do believe life is a bowl of cherries. But then there's the real stuff. And I firmly believe the real stuff separates you from everybody else, right? Any of the trauma that I went through or Tim went through, or the things that happened to us. And that saying, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you a better performer, because you are bringing all of that to the roles that you're playing, whether it's film, TV, or theater. And you, Erica, are using all of that. It's who you are right now. And I have really high hopes for everything that you're going to do next. Do you have any upcoming shows or films coming out that people can see you in that we can share with them?
Well, I have a comedic horror coming up called Don't F with Mary Jane.
I love it.
I play Cokehead Kim. So, you know, really classy. It was a lot of fun.
I love it.
Yeah, Cokehead Kim. It's Mary Jane's best friend. It's a lot of fun. And it's meant to be a comedy horror. And it's about a stripper who gets in a fight with an ex and kills him and says, well, I might as well kill some other bad dudes. And I play her best friend, and I'm just, you know, not aware that she's actually killing people. But it's fun. It's a fun one. And then we're also working on an original animated series, also not kid-friendly, family-friendly, apologies, Galactic Bastards.
I love it. Those Galactic Bastards.
It's like Futurama, except for instead of being a delivery team, we're a repo team. So when aliens miss their payment, we have to go repossess their items. Sweet. But it's a comedy. It's a cartoon.
Very, 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 very cool.
And then how can people find out more about Erica Muse?
Oh gosh, just looking up my name, it pulls up my website, all my social media and stuff. I try to make my stuff really findable. As soon as I am working on multiple other film projects, I just can't say the titles yet. As soon as I can talk about stuff, I will post it on my social medias. So
is your website? What is your website?
My website is ericamuse.com.
Okay, you also have a YouTube channel that's very nicely laid out. Your YouTube channel.
Thank you.
And then Erica Muse on all social media, or Erica Muse Acts.
On all social media, yeah, Erica Muse Acts.
Okay, cool. On Insta and all social media.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to take a quick picture.
Yes, we got to take a picture. It's that time.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. And as soon as the preview moves out, I will take one more. Okay. In 3,
Oh, sorry.
2, 1. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
And
Erica, thank you.
And again, hold on after the credits. We'll
okay.
bring you back on to say goodbye. So
Yeah.
But thank you so very much. Thank you just for sharing everything and just for being the fabulous Erica Muse that you are.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me share that story. I know it's dark and it can be hard, but it does also help me to talk it out regularly. So
as you should.
Absolutely, absolutely. But and again, that's not who you are. That's just something that has happened to you. But again, you are an amazing costumer and actress and voiceover, and you're the total package.
The whole thing. All right.
And we are so grateful that you came on today.
Thank you so much. I got to sign off. And yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Erica. All righty.